Good afternoon. I got roughly 10 minutes to do this. Not saying it's going to take 10 minutes. It may take 5. I'm reaching out right now, not as a cry for help, but to bring you a message, an inspiration of hope. I'm walking around my hometown right now where I live, and I'm trying to bring you something different, okay? Because I'm tired of the same old thing, the same methods, the same stories, the same capitalization on spirituality, and everybody's out here wanting this money. Let me tell you something. The day I charge anybody for spiritual guidance is the day I will dig a hole and lay in it. I'm somebody who has struggled my whole life. I've struggled with bullying. I've struggled with, the word no my whole life. I've been told no so many times. I know that word. I've struggled with relationships. I've struggled with jobs. I've struggled with friendships. I've struggled with family. Even people in my own family I've struggled with. Being accepted. When you're a black sheep in society, and I gotta give a shout out to my grandparents, my grandpa and grandma Shira, who have been in my life for God knows how long. And I only got one of them grandparents left right now. And I want to give a shout out to my grandpa Leo. I love you. Whether I get to make a trip over to see you soon, I don't know, but I'm planning on it. There's some things I need to talk about before you leave this world. And I want to give a shout out to my already waiting relatives. My mom's parents died when I was a little kid. I barely remember it, but that was my earliest experience of loss. Maybe I was 2 years old, I think, 3. I barely remember it. I remember being at the cemetery and everybody was standing around, and I was made to stand there still, even though I wanted to run off and go look at all the gravestones, and play in the cemetery. I didn't realize that one of my grandparents had just died, so I didn't know, and I seen all my other cousins and stuff crying, and I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't know what death was, and I still haven't mourned. There's that word, mourning. Mourn. I still haven't mourned for the past. I did when I was in jail for 20 days. It was a minor sentence. I could have got a lot longer, but I'm grateful for the energies that were in my favor. I've never killed anybody. I've never robbed intentionally. I've been around people who have robbed, and I got put in the category with them because they were doing it. Yeah, that's my mistake. I should have been hanging out with better people who weren't doing that. And I'm always the one like, I don't want to do this. And then I get peer pressured. And then that's when you start to break, and you don't want them to talk shit about you. So you partake and you go along with it. And that's where we get in trouble. We kind of brush that initial feeling that we get of, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this. I know this. That's the tree of knowledge talking to you. All right? Basically. That's the tree of knowledge talking to you. Oh, okay, I know this is wrong. I'm getting that feeling that I know this is wrong. But yet here I am around a bunch of bad apples wanting to do it because they didn't learn no. All right? They didn't learn no and what that feeling of no meant. inside yourself. You get that feeling of no when you first think like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this. That is no, telling you no. In a physical feeling, right down here in the pit of your stomach, you get that feeling of no right away. But yet we kind of brush that under the rug a lot. And then we go along because we want to be cool. We want to be cool and break the rules. You know, we want to put negative karma into our lives intentionally. That's when it comes back at us. You know, that's why we need to be taught at a young age what no really means. You know, hey, it rained worms last night. Look at this. Throw them off there in the grass so we can dig a new hole. There's a lot of dead ones out here too. Dang. Anyway, they're just worms, but still, you know, it's a life that counts. It's a life. He's barely alive, but me putting him in the grass saves that soul. Everyone that I see that I can save, I'm going to put over there in that green grass. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? It might be a worm, but guess what? I was a worm once. And you know what somebody did for me? I was dead almost. This guy's barely moving. Look. Can you see him on my hand there? He's barely moving. That was me at one point in my life. That was me barely moving. And you know what somebody did for me? They said, hey, you know what? I love you. You deserve a fighting chance at a great life. And look at him moving around already. Really moving. And you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to put you there. I'm going to bury you with that nice intention. Alright? With that love. I'm going to bury you with this love that I gave you. You were worth it. And I'm going to walk away. And now that worm is going to sit there and he's going to think about that energy I just gave it. And it's going to grow on it. And it's going to become a stronger worm. It's going to level up and it's going to grow a set of feet. And it's going to walk. And it's going to walk and it's going to tell other people, hey, this is what you need. You know, this is life-saving stuff. Okay? I might be picking up worms on the road that are struggling to live because if they don't, they're going to dry out and they're going to die. And we need worms for life. Worms decompose things. Worms are good for fishing, to catch food, to live. You know, there's a bird in the middle of the road taking in on some of this action. You know, I'm going to point the camera and I'm going to sit still. There's a bird there. But the point is, man and women, the point is we have to cherish life. All right, we got to start helping each other out, big or small. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. You see somebody struggling, you pick them up out of the dirt that they're in and you put them in some green grass and you bury them with love. Namaste. Many provisions coming towards you if you just believe. Namaste.